Welcome in, everybody. It's Monday night, and you're with me, Joe Quills, and I'm back in my usual spot. I'm back in my desk, my main chair, and hopefully you're hearing me. I do apologize for the late start, but we are live here tonight. It's Monday, July 1st, and I am testing something right now because um. Oh, okay, hold on. So we're live here, and you're going to hear my voice for a second. Okay, there we go. So things are going to sound a little funky tonight. I finally got the adapter for this headset so I can use it on the computer I got. I'm going to have to do some adjustments. So if you bear with me this week, we'll get everything squared away. It did sound like everything was fine last night when I tested everything, but this is the first time I'm doing it live with the headset on this computer, with the adapter, with everything here. Um, so we are going to um, get through this here tonight. And for some reason, my banners are not up here. So let's go like that. There we go. So got a lot to talk about here. Also going to give an update about a show on Wednesday. We're not doing a full-fledged show. We're going to do an IRL. I'll tell you more about that in a second. But coming up on the show, a lot of Celtics news tonight. Um, if SJ was here right now, I'd be telling her text me her email address. I can give her a link to join me in the chat if she wanted to join me. But anyways, coming up on the show, um, we do have that on the bottom of the screen there for those that are watching. Free agency, that period where you can negotiate and agree to a deal, but not be officially on the team until this weekend, I believe it is. That has started. The NHL has started, um, and so much more. So as you can see there, also the Celtics are up for sale. I'll give you my thoughts on that. Um, Jason Tatum got paid. Kim Bing got hired. I don't think that's a problem with her getting her back into MLB and whatever comes up. So I hope everybody's having a great Monday out there. For those that are lucky enough, you probably got a 3-day week this week. I got a 4-day week this week, but I'm off Wednesday for my day off. I'm off Thursday for the holiday. Get paid to stay at home and do nothing, and then I work Friday and Saturday. So I got a little mini weekend there in the middle of the week, so that's good. So hopefully, um, if you do get to relax, you know, do have some fun. Just be careful out there because I know everybody's gonna want to play with fireworks, and you don't want to end up like Jason Pierre-Paul, where he has like two fingers missing or whatever that situation is. Oh yeah, that's right. Because I said, hey, I'm going to give you the finger, but I'm going to give you the finger with my nub. But the little things that come up from time to time in my sixth sense of humor this time of year. And oh, by the way, happy Canada Day for our Canadian viewers. Uh, I took advantage of Canada Day today, and wait, where's my hat? I got to do this. If my buddy Mike was watching, now that some will argue that I did have a I had a wrong pick on Saturday, but it was the first of two races. So technically, with the winner yesterday at Aqueduct, the winner Saturday in the finale at Churchill, and then today I gave you guys a 5-1 winner for my Quills Picks Winners article where we went where we have not gone before, a track that I haven't played in a couple of years because we don't have any um, um, there aren't any promotions on Twin Spires, which is my main ADW, my advanced deposit wagering platform. But if you played it today, you got 5-1 odds on the winner. I didn't see the race because I got stuck at the supermarket, and then I got stuck on the phone. But I will tell you this: that's 3 wins in a row. And let me do this because it's a hat trick, baby. 3 in a row. See what you got to deal with me. You got to deal with this stupid stuff. But you know, I did give out a 5-1 winner, paid 12.50 to win. I hope you had it. If not, your boy's getting hot. So, um, believe it or not, I had 10 winners in June, and I actually had a winning month in the month of June because I actually finally updated my spreadsheet. But I haven't. But I'm totally redoing track, the track information. Going like, okay, at Aqueduct, I was this for the year so far, and at Parks, I'm this, and at Delaware Park, I'm this, and at Horseshoe Indy, I'm this. But I haven't done that yet. Um, but I did finish up ahead. I did give you guys a 12-1 winner last week in one race, and then I had the winner in the last race on Saturday. That was a 9-2 shot. I gave you a winner yesterday. I gave you a winner today. So we start off July on the right foot. Technically, the second half of the year, but the second half of the year isn't really happening until the third or fourth because we have 166 days or 366 days. 166, Jesus Christ. But you get the idea. Um, so check bleacherbrothers.com. Tomorrow we will still be in Canada, but we'll be at a different track, and we'll see if we can extend it to 4 in a row. And oh yeah, I can do my sound drops tonight since I'm back on here. So Churchill was 1. Aqueduct yesterday was 2. Hastings today in Vancouver, British Columbia was 3. If I hit the race tomorrow, that's how many? Oh, we gotta turn the volume up, dumbass. Yes, I'm calling myself a dumbass. How many? So starting to get on a roll here, and of course, it's when I have no money to wager. So, but um, now since I'm touting myself, that probably means I go for my next 10 days. Watch, but I'm starting to get on the roll again, and hopefully, you guys can take advantage of that um, coming up this week. Tomorrow we'll be at Assiniboia Downs for a race. Wednesday we'll be at Horseshoe Indy. Thursday and Friday will be at Aqueduct, Belmont, Big A. And Saturday, I don't know yet. I got to look through the races. I think we're going to go mixing things up with a couple different tracks because you have the Indiana Derby, you have another race, you got 3 or 4 big races around the country, and sometimes I like to mix and match, and sometimes I do what I did this past Saturday as well. So, and that show is called Also Eligible on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. And that will be on the Bleacher Brothers page. So, Bleacher Brothers X, Bleacher Brothers YouTube, Bleacher Brothers Twitch. Um, Basically, if it's Bleacher Brothers, it'll be on there. There's a fourth one. I forget what it was off the top of my head, but their Facebook page. So they go to 4 different places. I go to 3, and you know we're we'll, we're starting to get on the roll here. That's a good thing here, and hopefully we can continue it tomorrow night. So, anyways, let's get to it here on this Monday night to the real portion of the show. Um, and I do appreciate everybody watching here tonight. Got uh, got everybody, got a lot of people watching on X right now. Um, I might have to give in to, I might have to give in to Elon and get a paid account. I got to ask a couple of people. Um, I asked AJ about it. He's not sure what he did, so you can get people actually responding back and forth. Um, I don't know about that. Um, I know SJ doesn't stream the X. Um, I gotta ask the people in my personal network. But you know, so if you're watching on Twitter dash X/X, I do appreciate you guys. Um, maybe this weekend I figure it out. Um, only because of the fact that you know I feel bad for you guys because you get to watch, but it's almost like I'm cucking you. You can watch, but you can't participate too much or at all. You get to participate with your eyes, and that's it. And I want to make this even more interactive as we go on here. So, but I do apologize for those. It slipped my mind this weekend, and you know, give me one of those for doing that. So there you go. And I have that too loud now. So, anyways, um, NBA free agency has begun, and the big news is James Harden did not request a trade. Congratulations. Nah, seriously. In local news, the Eagles, Jesus Christ, the Sixers are signing Paul George 4 years. What was it? I think it was 212, the max deal. And truthfully, I'm not too thrilled about it, only because he's 34 years old. He has had injuries. Um, oops, let me find NBA here. Um, 4 years, 212. Um, Now it's a player option for the final year in the 27-28 year. Brings him back to the East with to partner with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey got a 5 year deal today because with Maxey you can give him that fifth year because he's staying in Philly. I think it was 204 something like that. I forget the number. So some of the numbers I may not get, but I do know that it was 5 years. Yeah, 5 years, 204. Damn, I hit that right on the nose. Um, George is a nine-time All-Star. Um, I do want to check one thing here, and since I'm talking to you here right now, let me just check one thing here. Um, all right, he did play in 74 regular season games, so he's not the he's not the what's the word that I'm looking for? Um, he is not the um, load management person I thought he was. So he's not Kawhi. He's not Embiid, but but Embiid had a legitimate injury to his knee this year. But you know, he did have um, five. But he did play 74 games, almost 23 points a game. That's going to help the Sixers a lot. And the Sixers now have that third superstar. And my only concern is that he is 34 years old. So that's my concern with him. Um, Now, he did have that leg injury or knee injury that he had leading up to the Olympics 8 years ago, I think it was now. But the one thing I'm concerned with is even though he's well beyond that, is something going to happen that he gets hurt again? And It's something that you have to worry about with the 34-year-old, I would think. So, but I'm always a believer in prove me wrong, and I would love to see him be that third superstar player that will lead you to a championship. Now, will it happen? Who knows? But I know that Sixers and Celtics are going to be a knockout, drag out battle, whether it's a regular season game or a 7 game series. We know that's going to be knock 'em, drag out fight. But maybe maybe I'm putting too much into it, and maybe it'll help him that he's away from James Harden. Because James Harden is a cancer. Just when you thought he's okay with playing like he was here in Philly, he then said, "Oh, I'm not playing for him again. Screw him." I mean, we saw that video, but I would really think that Paul George, I would imagine you get 1 or 2 good years out of him, and the bottom falls out. But I keep saying that about LeBron James, and now he's got his son on his team, and but I'm a little worried with the Lakers this year because you have a player who's sleeping with his teammate's mother. But but um but seriously, um the one thing I would say is um even though I kind of didn't want him, it is what it is, and hopefully brings a championship to Philly that's been elusive from the Sixers for over 40 years, even though the Sixers are a joke organization with the process and everything else. Hopefully, they finally got the pieces together, and that's all you can hope for being a Philly guy like I am. But it wasn't just Philly that did all the big stuff here. Um, Let me go back over here. Um, Clay Thompson went to Dallas 3 for 50, and he's inspired with the chance to compete for a fifth title with the Mavericks. Um, so there was the sign and trade that was involved here. It required a multi-team sign and trade that sends the Mavericks guard forward Josh Green to the Charlotte Hornets and 2 second-round picks to the Warriors. Dallas is sending its own 2031 second-round pick in the deal, as well as the least favorable of the Nuggets or Sixers second-round pick in 2025. So all kinds of stuff there. Um, but the one thing that I thought I heard today or saw today, whether it was online or on TV, um, one thing to remember is, and this is why why I'm surprised that more players don't take advantage of this, and a lot of players do. Texas does not have a state income tax, so you know a little extra money in your pocket is a good thing, especially going for one of the states that tax you the most on the state level, and that's the state of California. So he's going to Dallas. His 13 years with the uh, Golden State Warriors is over. Not much of a surprise there of him leaving there. He's on the downside of his career. He had 2 major injuries back to back. Um, let's see here. Um, the signing trade was confirmed. Um, the Anthony Belton 1 year 12.8 to Golden State. Um, with the Lakers striking out with the top 3 free agents in the offseason, LeBron could now take the full max from the franchise during free agency because we know he's going to stay with the Lakers. It's just a matter of what he gets money wise. Um, just going chronologically from overnight, Sixers signed Kelly Oubre Jr. two for 16.3 million. Paul George agreed to terms at 3:30 this morning. Tyrese Maxey was signed 5 years, $204 million maximum contract extension. Um, Isaiah Hartenstein agreed to a 3 year, $87 million deal with Oklahoma City. Tobias Harris is no longer the Sixers' problem. He's now Detroit's problem. 2 years, $52 million. One of the biggest mistakes the Sixers had by not um, uh, by picking him over Jimmy Butler. Um, Derek White of the Celtics got a 4 year deal for 125.9 million. He got paid. Um, Laurie Markkinen of the Utah Jazz, he's become a prime trade target for those teams who missed out on Mikal Bridges. Um, we'll get to Jason Tatum in a bit, and that's it for right now in terms of the NBA. Um, in terms of the teams that are, in terms of free agency, I should say. That's what I'm trying to say. But my mind is so fried right now. But um, but I did mention the Celtics here, and the Celtics are selling right now. And what better time to sell than right after a championship? Um, now the Celtics, my majority ownership group led by uh, Wick Grousback. Once again, if you're new to the show, if I mispronounce things, it's not done on purpose, and hopefully nobody takes offense by it. He's planning to make the franchise available for sale. Um, him and his partner Steve Pagliuca led a group that purchased the team in 2002 for $360 million. Well, since then, the valuation of franchises have skyrocketed. The latest teams to sell controlling shares, being the Phoenix Suns sold for $4 billion with a B to Matt Ishbia in February 2023. Jimmy and D Haslam paid 3.5 a couple of weeks later for the Bucks. Um, and the Dallas Mavericks with Adelson and Dumont families paid 3.5 billion last December. But and remember when I was saying that the when we were talking about Danny Hurley staying with UConn, the one thing I said was if there's a franchise that I would go to as a head coach that has won multiple national championships in a row and could win a third in a row this year, I was saying how iconic of a franchise the Celtics are. And I said there's only two franchises I would go to, the Lakers and the Celtics. And since the Lakers are on the left coast and he doesn't want to go to the left coast, well, his wife doesn't want to go to the left coast, there's Boston. And you're not going to get a job offer from Boston right now, especially after winning the championship, unless he totally misbehaves with somebody, but I think he's too ethical to get himself into trouble. Joe Mazzulla, that is. But the, the Celtics now have 18 titles, 1-8. They're only behind the Yankees and the Canadiens. Yankees have 27 MLB titles. Montreal Canadiens won the Stanley Cup 24 times. So they're right up there. And when we talk about all time iconic franchises, those are the three. And if you want to go the old Mount Rushmore as we steer towards WIP and 97.5 to Fanatic Land, which I try to stay clear of for you. If we were to go Mount Rushmore, I would imagine you would go with the Green Bay Packers because they've won, I think, 10 championships. But the numbers relevant. I think they're right up there with the most championships pre Super Bowl and Super Bowl era. So, the one thing is, and you know, when the Eagles had never won a Super Bowl, when we went through the 51 years of the Super Bowl where the Eagles did not win, everybody's saying, "Oh, Eagles never won." No, the Eagles did win, but one second, thought I had to sneeze there. Um, I would say, hey, Eagles won in 1960. They won in 48 and 49. I think it's 48 and 49. So they did win three other times. It's just that most people conveniently do not look at pre Super Bowl. And, like some franchises like the Pittsburgh Steelers, they won six championships. They were all in the Super Bowl era because they were a losing franchise until Chuck Noll came in the late 60s. I think it was the late 60s because they've gone about 55 years with three coaches. And Tomlin's going to be there for a few more years. But I'll tell you what, when I look at everything I see the Celtics, I see the Yankees, I see the Canadiens. I guess you could say Green Bay, but they've only won once in the last 20 some years, I guess. Some people say the Patriots because they won six times in 20 years. Some will say the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I mean, it's an interesting discussion that we could have. I just don't want to be like WIP where everybody starts telling me, "Oh, I think this would be the fourth team in your Mount Rushmore," because that's not what I want to do. But I'd like, I mean, Boston, the Celtics are an iconic franchise. They are just like the New York Yankees, in my opinion, where they should not have an alternate uniform because it isn't like the New England Patriots where they went from uh, Patriot Pat, who had the hemorrhoidal issues because he always bent over, to Flying Elvis. You know, Yankees have barely touched their uniforms in the last 60, 70 years. The Celtics should have their white home jerseys, or what used to be their white home jerseys, and their classic green road uniforms. Just those two. Because, my opinion, you shouldn't have a third uniform. You shouldn't have a fourth uniform because they're a classic team. They're an iconic team. And they are one of those teams that we would put on that Mount Rushmore. Even though we only had three teams that are guaranteed to be on there. But this isn't about Mount Rushmore. This is about the Celtics for sale. Um, so, in a statement of the decision made on Monday, the Celtics announced that the managing board of the ownership group expects to sell a majority interest in the team earlier this year or early next year, and it expects Grousbeck to remain as the governor of the team until the second closing in 2028. So I think this is almost like what Mark Cuban and the Mavericks did, where he was still in control for another season, and then when the season was over, it was like, all right, get out. But it was all part of the sale. But um, but since Grassback led the group, Boston Basketball Partners, his group purchased the team. The Celtics have consistently been among the league's best teams. They've won 2 championships, including a title last month, as we know, when they defeated the Mavericks in 5. They reached the finals on 2 other occasions. Um, they're third in regular season victories in that span, trailing only San Antonio and Dallas. And the 3 teams with over 1,000 regular season victories during that period are second, and they're also second to the Miami Heat in playoff victories. Um, so they're doing everything right up there. But I mean, it seems a little weird that they are suddenly selling the team, but it seems like he's still going to be in charge for at least a couple more years. And I would think that this would be a franchise that could be sold very quickly. Well, you have to go through the vetting process, but you do have um, um, you do have that possibility. Bank Boy, welcome in. Hope you're having a good night there. Um, just going through a couple of things here. I started a little late tonight, but that's but this the so it'll be interesting to see how quickly Boston gets sold. But this is something that if you got the money, you got the partners. This is definitely a franchise that would sell because this is definitely something you will want in your portfolio. So, but just to keep get Bank Boy up to date here. Um, we did start a little late tonight. Got stuck at the supermarket because I had to get a couple of things. Couple of things I needed to get for tomorrow, like for example, coffee creamer because I gotta have my coffee in the morning. And then I got stuck on the phone talking to one of my friends. I'm like, dude, I gotta start my show. And he start talking for a couple of minutes more, and then a couple of minutes more. Not complaining in terms of the person, but the timing just sucked. That's all. But I mean, I wouldn't, I would be like, still talk to you, but just to let you know, I have to get off the phone so I can do my show. But he knows I do this, so. But um, and also since I'm taking this bit of a tangent here, just want to let you guys know, and I'll remind you at the end of the show. There's a show tomorrow, but I will have no show on Thursday, so we're just going today and tomorrow. And well, I might as well tell you the news now. Um, Now this will be finalized on Wednesday morning, so you'll have to check my X, my Twitter at Joe Quills. Um, I am planning on doing an IRL, which is an in real life stream. The reason why I'm doing it is if you're familiar with Bleacher Brothers, we have an unofficial racehorse. His name is Uncle Ernie, and he has his good races, he has his bad races, but he's been running in what's called um, allowance company because there's like the claiming horses where the horses aren't that great, but you're trying to make some money off of them and be like, well, you can have this horse. Like for example, if I put him in a race where it's a $25,000 claimer, you know, your owner can buy that horse for $25,000 through the racetrack, and I get the money, and you get the rights to the horse. And there's ways that they void it out if a horse gets hurt or anything like that. But then there's starter allowance and allowance levels, which starter allowance are like, okay, well, you any horse that has once started for a claiming tag at 25,000 or less, you can run in this race. Whereas an allowance race will be dependent upon non-winners of 3 races lifetime or non-winners of 2 races in the last 6 months, something like that. And then you have the stakes races. So our boy Uncle Ernie is running in the 9th race at Parks, which may complicate my evening plans, which is possibly going to the Pennypack Music Festival Wednesday night. They still have a show despite the fact that it's a uh, the night before the 4th of July. So I'll probably be going right from the racetrack to Constarters. Um, but Uncle Ernie is running, and I talked with AJ, the owner, president, CEO, head muckety muck, whatever title you want to give him, whatever title he gave himself. I talked to him last week and last Friday, I think it is, and I'm probably going to do an IRL Wednesday afternoon. The race is at 4:20 ish, I should say, because you know Parks always falls behind schedule. But if by chance the horse does not get scratched, I don't think he will. But if he does get scratched, screw it, I'm not going there. But if he does run on Wednesday, I'll be up there and I'll do a IRL leading up to the race, and then um, because of uh, all the speakers and sound system, everything there, Parks. I'm probably going to come back after the race and give you some thoughts on that as well. So, just a little fun thing I'm going to do on Wednesday. So it'll be in two parts. So at least I would think it'd be in two parts because I don't think I could show the race without getting my ass into trouble. So I'd rather play it safe, do pre-race stuff, then come back and do post-race stuff. And I could tell you where you can watch the race as well because you can watch it on FanDuel TV if you got an ADW platform like Twin Spires, TVG, FanDuel, you know, you could probably go to the FanDuel racing page from the FanDuel casino and then go to the Parks thing and pull it up. As long as you have an open account. I mean, you don't even need to. I mean, you don't have to wager. You could just watch, and that will probably be an added race on Wednesday, the Uncle Ernie race. So, um, but that was the big announcement that I had for Monday. That was teasing on SJ's Discord page, which was that I will be doing an IRL Wednesday afternoon if Uncle Ernie is not scratched from that race on Wednesday. And the reason why I say if he's not scratched because things happen. Horses spike fevers, horses get injured. You know, the trainer just says I don't like the way he looks. He didn't take a poop, whatever. But that's the big news I had. So back to the Celtics here, and Jason Tatum got paid and then some. He agreed on a 5-year extension, $314 million. Unbelievable. There's a player option involved, and there's a trade kicker. Um, yeah, he led Boston to the title, as we all know, title number 18. They won in 5 over Dallas, which we know. I mentioned that before. But he was the third overall pick of the Celtics in 2017, and trust me, Sixers had a shot to get him. They didn't. One year they got Ben Simmons, the other was Markel Fultz, I believe. So you can tell how the process went for Philadelphia over the years. Um, Tatum has developed into one of the NBA's top two-way talents on the wing, partnered with Jalen Brown. So, you know, that's another guy the Sixers could have had, or the Lakers, because the last those 2 years after trades and stuff, because the Sixers traded up the number one in 2018, I believe it was, when they got Markel Fultz. Gee, thank you. Um, those two picks that Boston got fell right into their laps. Thank you, Sam Hinkie. So, so they have arguably the best wing tandem in the league. Um, But they're gonna be tough for years to come. Both guys have been signed, sealed, delivered. They're Boston's or something like that, or something that Stevie Wonder would say. But I'll tell you what, Boston's going to be tough. Hopefully, the Sixers will make things difficult for them, or somebody will, or will they experience the psychological problem of being the team that is the hunted instead of the hunters? But then again, when you're always near the top of the league every year, you know what it's like to be the hunted. So, um, but yeah, I mean, he's getting paid, and we'll see what happens. And I wish I knew how the trade kicker worked, so somebody could explain it to me. And it's fine. Um, but it's you know, and he's also set to be part of the Team USA entry in the Paris Olympics as well. Uh, the men's national team looks for its fifth straight gold medal. So, I mean, he deserves it. And the salaries are just going to go up and up and up because guess what? Next year, there's a new TV contract. And when that new TV contract comes up, that 60 million is going to be 70, 80, 90 million dollars a year. And the thing is, with all the money coming in from that new TV contract, you have to divvy it up to the players too. And when you only have 12 to 15 players on a team, the top players are going to get more. I mean, the other players are going to get more too, but you're going to get to the point where you may see a guy making $100 million a year in a few years. As crazy as that sounds. Remember when Pete Rose signed with the Phillies in 1979? I think it was 4 years, $4 million. My, how things have changed. The value of the dollar as well, and all the other stuff. But um, but yeah, it's um, he got paid. Good for him. Unfortunately for the Sixers, it's another 5 years of seeing him in the Celtic green, but it's okay. So I mentioned Kim Ing, and I think I am on record. At least I hope I'm on record. And I don't know whether it was on this show, the precursor to the show, the Philly guy speaks, or a random tweet or post on Facebook where I said if Dave Dombrowski were to walk away today, Kim Ming is the person I want to run this franchise. She knows her stuff. And, you know, the fact that she helped the Marlins get to the playoffs, a franchise that runs cheaply, cannot draw fans. Well, they can only draw fans in October, but the problem is you got to get to October. You really wonder. I mean, you know why Derek Jeter left the Marlins. You know why Kim Ing left the Marlins. You know, now Kim Ing, you could say she was fired, you could say she quit, whatever. I couldn't care less what the correct verb to use is, but she has a new job in the world of Major League Baseball. Um, or she's made a mark in Major League Baseball, being the first female general manager, as I mentioned. Um, she kept the position for 3 years, and the Marlins reached the playoffs last year. Now she will use her skills to directly uplift women's sports. She's been hired as senior advisor for Athletes Unlimited Softball League, which will launch next year. So maybe a little hard to get her to come back to Major League Baseball, but I don't know what her story is with wanting to be back in Major League Baseball, but I would definitely, if we have a general manager position open or VP or whatever Dave Dombrowski's title is, for example, first person I call is Kim Ng. And the one thing is, and I've said this many a time, I don't want to hire a female, a minority, whatever. And I know that me saying that could be subject to convenient editing where all of a sudden you'll hear I don't want to hire women or minorities. You know, the one thing I will say is listen to the whole statement because that way I don't you don't come after me for what you think is a racist or a sexist statement because it's not. I want to hire somebody. I want to hire a female, a minority, whomever, whatever you want to classify as groundbreaking. I want to hire somebody because they earned it, not just because they're female, not because they're a minority, not because they're LGBTQ or whoever. I don't want to listen to, he did it because of that. No, I'm hiring the best person for the job. And the thing is, other than a pan shot of Kim Ming, whether it's a Phillies broadcast, a Mets broadcast, a national broadcast, truthfully, nobody outside of Miami gave a shit who the general manager was. They cared about whether that team was beating up your team. And they did enough to get into the playoffs last year. And I'm pretty sure Bank Boy may have seen my statements about somebody we know and love, SJ. You work your ass off, you should get rewarded. SJ's worked their ass off. And then we get more into the major sports spotlights. Kim Ming, she deserved what she got. She may not have liked the way that the franchise is running, and she probably said, "Bleep you, I'm out." You know, she probably wanted to run things a certain way. The owners probably said, "No, you're running it our way," and she said, "See you later." For example, let's go to Doris Burke of the NBA. Some people say, "Oh, she's only sitting there at the table calling the game because she's female during the NBA finals." No, she worked her ass off to get there. She's been working in basketball and in broadcasting for decades. She earned that spot. I believe Lisa Byington's still with Milwaukee. Kate Scott, who's the Sixers play-by-play announcer, they earned it. I want somebody who has earned the right to be hired for that job. I don't want to be associated with an organization that hires someone just because, oh, they're female, oh, they're this, oh, they're that. Because to me, race doesn't mean shit, sex doesn't mean shit. It's whether you're worthy enough for the job and you can take my organization to the next level with whatever job you want to do. If that's a crime, then so be it. But I'm the type of person that feels like if you're the best person for the job, I don't care if you're female. I don't care if you're a minority. You're the best person for the job. Let's go. That's how I feel. And she's going to be a senior advisor for Athletes Unlimited next year. Women's sports is riding away to momentum. We have Caitlin Clark, even though I saw something today that Caitlin Clark, she's, I don't know if complaining is the right word. She's been saying how the older players are not helping her out. It's almost like, oh, you're stealing our spotlight. Be gone. You know, the thing is, sometimes you forget that you were that rookie. But um, but Ing felt that this was the right step to move towards Athletes Unlimited Softball League. She said, "We're in a moment here, and maybe it's not a moment. Maybe it's more of a movement. I just wanted to be a part of it." And Kim Ing has already made movements in her career. I mean, she's gone. I mean, she worked with the Dodgers. She's worked at the Major League front office. I mean, the one thing I would say, and this goes even to stuff that I talk about when, like for example, I tell you about the kid that sent me a DM on Twitter a couple years ago, and he asked me, "What do I have to do? Fill up your resume. Do something that be related to your field. If you're in school, take an internship. Do whatever you can that's job related to the job you want to do, and fill your resume up." I got screwed by that, not because of school, but because I wanted to take an internship with the Philadelphia Flyers, and I don't know what the title was. I saw it, emailed my advisor. I said, "Can I use this for my course? Because you would get credit for doing the internship." And they said it's a great internship, but because you're getting paid, you cannot get credit for it. So I'm like, so I did not go for the internship because I could have taken a leave of absence from my job. But the problem is when you take a leave of absence from the job that I had, and I'm over exaggerating with the money that's involved, but I'm guessing the money you would make as an intern with the Flyers versus the job that I had at that time. Well, still with the company, but the money at that time, around 2013, 2014, something like that. And the money from my job was up here. I imagine the internship, the money is way down here. And I'm not slamming the Flyers for doing that because, trust me, I know that you have to get your foot in the door somewhere and it's going to be a low paying job, probably mean doing a second job. But the fact that you're down here with the internship and you're way up here with your rate of pay, with your union job, that gap has to be filled somewhere. And guess what? Those bills don't care that you're down here for your money when you've been up here. All the all they want, those bill collectors and everything, they still want the money whether you're down here with your rate of pay or you're way up here. So that's why I never took it on top of the classes I was taking that quarter because I'm helping my parents out. I was paying my bills. I was helping them out with their bills. You can only do so much. There's only a certain amount of hours in the day. And sometimes you have to say, bleep, I can't do it. And that's what happened. But the one thing I would say is fill your resume up and make it look as good as possible because you never know. Once you get your foot in the door, like Kim Ming had to do one time, once you get in, You show you're a team player, so to speak. You prove that you can do certain things. Then you move up to a couple other things, and then a couple more things, and a couple more things. You end up with the Dodgers. That's what you have to do. And she's proven what she's had to do. And it's an interesting move, but you know what? She may end up making softball a big thing. And maybe as well, maybe women's sports is finally getting the spotlight that athletes have craved for decades. And there's nothing wrong with being in the spotlight. Because especially this time of year, other than baseball, what are you really watching? Me, horse racing, but that's the degeneracy that I have. But, you know, you have MLS, will be. But this time of the year, you can fight for the sports entertainment dollar, whether it's softball or anything like that. Mickey, welcome in. Mickey is a good friend of ours. He is watching on YouTube. Welcome in, Mickey. Good to see you. Um, but yeah, I would definitely say Kim Ming, you know, she knows what she's doing. I don't think that she would view this as a step back. I see this as a chance to grow something, kind of like how she grew the Marlins back into playoff contention, even though they went in the toilet so far this year, even though they won 2 of 4 against the Phillies. But um, but Ing spent 21 years in the front office with the White Sox, the Yankees, and the Dodgers. She has 3 World Series rings. Before joining the Marlins, she spent 9 years as a senior vice president for Major League Baseball. So she has the background to, and Mickey's telling me to move the mic away from me. And just to let you know, Mickey, I am working on the microphone thing. It's going to be something I'm going to have to work on all week because I got shows tonight and tomorrow night. Um, this is new equipment that I have. I got it as a 25-year anniversary gift from my employer, who will remain nameless. But I got the added piece I need to do the show. No, don't, Mickey, don't worry. Um, just letting you know that I'm aware that the sound is going to be funky, and just letting you know that you know it's uh, it's something that I am definitely working on, and so I'm aware that it doesn't sound perfect, but we are going to get it as best I can. So I'm not scolding you or anything like that. I'm just letting you know that I am aware, and we'll. It's definitely something that we're working on, and I know for what I have planned over the next couple of months, it is something that we are working on, and probably because I have my show also eligible, my horse racing show on Saturday morning. Um, I can play around on my EV Mux here and just do a 20-minute tape and just see, you know, does it work best here? Does it work best here? That sort of thing. So, I'm not scolding you, Mickey. It's just that um, things are going to be funky tonight and tomorrow night. So, just to let you know, um, we are. I should say because this is a one man show. This is definitely something that I'm aware of and trying to make better for everybody out there. So don't take it bad. It's just You just weren't here at the beginning of the show, so that's fine. So um, now Inga's going to work with Athletes Unlimited CEO and co-founder John Parnikoff and Senior Vice President Sherry Kempf. They're launching a new league to provide more options for players while creating a strong domestic presence uh, in the sport during the ramp up to the 2028 Olympic Games. Thank you, Mickey. He's sharing the show, and I should be promoting that more. Share the show. Just don't turn back time, even if you find a way. Uh, yeah, it's been a long day for me, Mickey. So I'm like extra goofy tonight. But but it's good to see you here. Got Bank Boy here on Twitch. At least he was on Twitch. Um, you know, but good to see good to see my friends here, no matter the platform. And but we're all having fun here, and that's what this is all about here tonight. So just want to give some random thoughts here. Sports in general. Phillies 2-2 against the Marlins. Harper's out. Schwarber's out. Schwarber pulled a groin his own. Harper pulled a hamstring. I thought it was a knee at first, but you could tell it was a soft tissue injury once you saw him grab his hamstrings. Like, okay. But um, but it really is you know, Harper may be back for the All Star game, um, but it's a minor injury, thankfully. So it isn't something that you hope doesn't linger until the rest of the season. And the Phillies just keep on winning. They got a tough road trip here. They go to Chicago starting tomorrow night, and then they play Atlanta for 3 games. And if I really wanted to, I could really rip into some loser on Facebook today. I'm in a Philadelphia group, Philadelphia Phillies group. Um, yeah, yeah. He made the All Star game, but the only problem is if the hamstring is not 100%, he will be replaced. Um, it's just that the window is very tight for the All Star game. It's only 2.5 weeks away. They're saying it's a 2-week injury, so it's right on the deadline where you got to make the decision: are you going to play? Are you not going to play? Um, and once again, it isn't. Um, you know, it's just the window is such a weird window, such a close window. Um, I personally feel, and I don't know about you in general, everybody that's watching and listening, I get the feeling that Ranger Suarez is not right. And I'm usually wrong with these observations. And if I'm wrong, so be it. And maybe the Marlins had a good game plan yesterday, getting swinging early in the count, getting base hits. Maybe that was the case. But ever since Suarez got hit in the hand, he hasn't seemed right to me. And maybe it's just me thinking out of the box, thinking totally wrong here, but he just doesn't seem right. And, you know, I would say, I mean, maybe he throws 7 innings, no runs, 2 hits when he pitches in Atlanta on Saturday. Who knows? Or maybe he gives up 7 or 8 runs in 3 innings. That's always a possibility, you know. But Ranger Suarez got off to a great start. Freak thing happened. Somehow his hand didn't break or his wrist. But he should be fine, but it just seems maybe he's just in a funk. It just seems that way. But just the way I feel, and I could be wrong. So, but I'm sorry I'm yawning there as well. But I was looking at this Facebook group today, and actually it came up on my timeline. And I'm going to say this right now, and personally, I would personally, I wish I could snip this video up and post it on there. But this Phillies group, this Phillies fan group, is the biggest bunch of whiny little bitches I've ever seen. And trust me, I've been around a lot of whiny little bitches. And it's gotten to the point where I actually call somebody out. Because usually I just shake my head like Michael J. Fox and move on. Because, oh, the Phillies are on Apple this week. How dare they have a game on Apple TV? Well, it's out of the Phillies' hands. It's Apple and MLB that decides what games are showing each week on their platform. Oh, the Sunday games on Roku. Hey, I don't like that the Phillies games are on Roku or Apple either. I actually had to figure out how to. I had to figure is the Roku app that I have on my TV the right app or not? Thankfully, it was. And also, no way in hell should a baseball game start before 1 o'clock on a Sunday. Maybe if we didn't have all these child molesting priests in the Catholic Church, we would be respecting religion on Sundays. Now, I'm not the most devout Catholic. I'm actually non-practicing. But the one good thing about religion, in my opinion, is it should teach you the morals of doing right and wrong. But everybody's complaining, oh, we're on we're on we're on Roku this Sunday. How dare they? They're on Apple. How dare they? And of course, people are joking around now with different things on there. And somebody posted on there, some woman with a hyphenated last name, lady, pick a last name. Your name is too long and too hard to say because it's Polish. And then you added another name? No. So she posted a tweet from Max, HBO Max, which is now just Max, saying that Tuesday's game is on Max, the Phillies and the Cubs. So I said, can we stop these stupid posts right now? Or dumbass posts? So she attacks me. She calls me an asshole. Well, first of all, I'm Mr. Asshole to you. And I said, takes one to know one, lady. She goes, oh, you're acting like a 5-year old. Yet you're continuing to attack me. I admit when I'm wrong, and I don't think I was wrong by saying, can we stop these stupid posts? Let's talk about actual baseball, not whining about what streaming service has the Phillies game. But with Max, the only reason why it's on there tomorrow night is because that game is on TBS. So, Mickey, if you have TBS, you will be able to watch Phillies and Cubs tomorrow night, depending on the weather in Chicago. I think the weather's going to be fine there, but who knows anymore. But I would, it just got to the point where you just I just scroll my Facebook. I'm like, all right, anything worth looking at, reading, between calls while I'm working or while I'm here on my computer and anything like that. So people are complaining about Apple. People are complaining about Roku. And trust me, Roku is more a last minute thing than was Apple TV because Apple TV pretty much has things set up for the whole year. It's just that when you look when you have Roku, okay, now we got to move it up 2 hours because we got to be the first game out of the block because it's the Sunday kickoff. But I'm just thinking, if I'm in the wrong, I get kicked out of that group. Oh well. But I just think you got these whining people. Oh, it's not on cable. It's not here. It's not there. Get over it. I don't make the decisions. You don't make the decisions. Those national broadcasts, the Phillies are stuck to MLB's decisions, and you go from there. But, you know, I just found it funny that all of a sudden I'm I'm the asshole, but they're the one that started it with that tweet or that post on Facebook about something stupid, you know. But I could have attacked her for having a hyphenated last name because that's one of the things that annoy me most than anything else is a hyphenated last name. But that's a topic for another day. And for my political campaign in 2027 or 2031 when I run for mayor of Philadelphia, if I'm still here in Philadelphia. Because if I do, you're going to see a campaign that would be lighting a torch to the city, so to speak. But probably won't, I won't run. But, you know, because the thing is, you get one, they find one thing in your closet, even if it's a thing that's not true in your closet, you know, the skeletons come out and then some, and it's bye bye chances. But I never seen so many whining bitches in my life. Oh, it's on Max, it's on Roku, it's on Apple. Shut up and deal with it. Lighten up, Buttercup. That's all I have to say. But but that's just my um, stuff that I dealt with earlier today while I was working, while I had people screaming at me all day because they don't like automation. Well, it ain't my fault you can't answer a question properly. But so my big news is Wednesday afternoon, the unofficial Bleacher Brothers horse, Uncle Ernie, is running at the ninth race at Parks. Barring anything unforeseen, I will be there at Parks. So I'm going to be doing what's called an IRL, in real life stream. So you won't see this. You won't see Joe Quills there. You won't see the scroll. You won't see that it's July 1st. You won't see any of this shit. You won't see the background. You won't see anything. You'll actually see me and you'll see the surroundings of Parks Racing. You'll get to see that ugly ass grandstand. You'll get to see the paddock. You'll get to see different things. I could stay live and be in the, maybe. Uh, just some thoughts that are coming to mind. But if Uncle Ernie does run Wednesday afternoon at Parks, I will be there. Now, I doubt I could show the race live, but I can do behind the scenes, give you some thoughts on the race, and we can go from there. And that's going to be exclusively on my Twitch. And for those that, and I forgot to run this banner at the start of the show, um, so just to let you know, my Twitch handle is Joe Quills, YouTube is Joe Quills, my Twitch, my X or Twitter is Joe Quills as well. Um, so all three of them are Joe Quills. Ignore that Thursday show for this week because Thursday is the holiday. I'm not doing a show on Thursday. Screw it. Uh, we got the indoor fireworks show, the Chilean and a match. We got indoor fireworks, we got outdoor fireworks to watch. Um, so I will be off on Thursday for here, but but I will be here Monday and Tuesday, and I probably should add also eligible to this list because also eligible is exclusively on Bleacher Brothers on their handles, their platforms. That is at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. It's me and AJ. AJ was off this week. He's going to be off next week. It may be a solo show. It may be a show with uh, our Manny Moda, our pinch hitter Frank, who gave some great insight. I have to rewatch the show because I don't think he gave out a winner. I gave out one on Saturday, but on my article, the last race Saturday was a winner. The race yesterday was a winner. The race today was a winner from Hastings in British Columbia. So if I hit one more tomorrow, that means I hit in a row. And I'm hoping I hit that. But check out my articles at bleacherbrothers.com. If you follow me on X, I post that article on there about 12 noon or whenever I see it's up. I post it to my personal Facebook as well. I've been lax on threads as well as my friend SJ's Discord. Um, I need to create my own Discord so we can get that up and running so I can use it for all the different things that I do. So, but you know, and if you're brand new to the show, welcome in, especially those on X. Um, I promise I'm going to look so that we can get even more interaction here, um, because you know whether it's Mickey, and that's an old comment, so don't worry about that. Whether it's Bank Boy saying hello, you know, I do want to say that I do want to make this more interactive, and if I have to pay Elon, which I don't want to do because Elon's a crook, I if I gotta pay him, I gotta pay him so I can get more interaction. So it's just that I gotta ask around, and you know, I mean, AJ didn't give me a clear answer why his ex gets people to respond to him, but we can go triple barreled here coming up over the next couple of weeks here. Um, so I do appreciate everybody who took the time. Okay, good. So, and that's the one good thing. When I have somebody like Mickey here, he will rip me a new one, or he'll give technical advice. And, I'm all for constructive criticism. Um, like that woman on Facebook this afternoon called me an asshole, you know, and, I went back at her, you know, I already know I'm an asshole. Why am I an asshole? That's the part that I would say is why am I an asshole? Even though I knew why she was calling me an asshole. But um, constructive criticism is good. And follow me on Twitter, aka X. Follow my Twitch, and follow me also on YouTube. Everything, as I said before, is Joe Quills. And ignore that Thursday show this week. We're not doing one this week for the holiday. So that is going to be it for now. I do appreciate everybody joining me here tonight, and we'll be back here tomorrow night, and hopefully I'll be more prepared. Like I said, I had a phone call that came in when I was at the supermarket. It was like over an hour. I'm like, dude, do you ever? But I'm not complaining about that. It was just that it's like I got my show coming up, but nothing bad. So, all right, now Mickey's making it personal. You're an asshole because you're a Phillies fan. Um, who's up 8 games in their division right now? Who's got the best record in baseball? Not Seattle. Well, Seattle's still up 4.5, I believe. But who's up 8 games right now? Who has the potential of putting the Braves out of their misery at the All-Star break? My team. But I already know I'm an asshole, so but um but I do appreciate everybody taking the time out of their evening, wherever you're watching me, the platform you're watching me, wherever you are around the world. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And I appreciate those that are watching after the fact as well. So I'll be back tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Um, may go a little bit longer because I'm off on Wednesday. Yay. And we'll do it live. That's right. We will.
Do it live. Do it live. Do it live. Do it live.
We'll do it live tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern, 7 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific, unless I get derailed by somebody calling me or anything like that. So, but I do appreciate everybody. And Bank Boy, thank you. Mickey, thank you everybody on X. And just a reminder for all your sports needs, and also to see if I go 4 in a row on my horse racing articles, go to bleacherbrothers.com and we'll see if I go for 4 in a row. I threw the hat at the beginning of the show because I had a hat trick 3 in a row. I'm going for 4 tomorrow, going for the horseman, and we'll do it live tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And it's on a different computer, Mickey. If I do it too loud, then the whole floor is going to hear me. But try not to do it too loud. Eventually, I'm going to get a couple of things for this computer. But here you go, Mick. I turned it up.
Do it live. Do it live. What don't you fucking understand?
Whoa, wrong one. Wrong one. Christian, please, no. Anyways, that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me. And we'll do it live here tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. I'll catch you then. Just a reminder, Bleacher Brothers for all your sports needs and also your horse racing handicapping needs as I'm going for 4 in a row. Good night, everyone.